another stream, 25 NL, 3 tables at the moment. Maybe I'll go to 4. And I've already played here for about 5 minutes while I was setting everything up, and I can tell you it's not been going very well. I got stacked straight away when I try to bluff a guy off a set. Here we are going to start with a check. Pocket 7s, 9, not great, but once he checks again on the turn, I think it's fine. The king also another overcard, so really not great run out, but it checks through and hopefully we win. Yeah, against 5 high, so no reason to bet that one. I could have bet the flop, but I thought I don't really have to, so that's all good. Yeah, so what are the objectives for today? Well, I want to increase my red line once again. So that's why I tried to bluff a guy. It was small blind versus big blind. I was in the big blind with queen 10. And he knows that I'm quite aggressive, so I 3-bet, he called, then flop came ace king 4 or something like that. And I checked back because I wanted to be a bit sneaky. And then on the turn, a deuce came, he let out, I called on the river, he went for half pot, and I just jammed, thinking that if he has an ace, he will find a fold there, because I'm really representing ace king, aces or kings. But unfortunately, he had pocket deuces, so he turned the set, and so he snapped me off there. So, yep, that did not go very well, I can say. And we got this player on all 3 tables. On 2 of them, he is just to my right, which is in theory good. Right, so here we have this guy who raised 3 bets to 8, is not got a full stack. With pocket 10s, I'm still just going to call. Now I got an open ender. And a backdoor royal flush draw. Okay, so now this is weird that you would check this back. So what does he have that doesn't connect well with this flop? I mean, ace king, ace queen, ace jack, queen jack, king jack, all of that works quite well. I still have to call here once. And well, sadly, we still have a royal flush draw, but it's not going to help us much. So I am going to check fold this one, because I don't think we could ever beat him. And yeah, he did have ace king, and he just played it a bit passively. He got there, but it's okay. We don't mind that. Ace queen now in the small blind. Definitely opening it. Getting 3-bet. Well, do we want to 4-bet this? I think we can play it passively. That's a pretty good flop for us anyway. He bets, and I could go either way, but I think I want to raise this one. If he has a hand like ace king, ace jack, ace 10, don't think he'll fold, and if he doesn't have much, then he might not do anything anyway. So let's just call, and we are against 10-9 of clubs, and that's a pretty good run out. I will take that one, so happy with that. got maximum value with top 2 pair. So yeah, if you're seeing that this is a CSOP stream, I must apologize. By the way, here I'm going to fold 7-6 against this small 3-bet. So for some reason it didn't pick up that I'm playing cash today, so I'm actually playing cash 25 NL. Really sorry about that. I can't really change this now while I'm playing. So I hope you won't be too disappointed. And I hope you still find your way here, even though it's not advertised as a cash game stream. Right, pocket 8, I'm just going to check behind and see what he does. So I would sometimes also check back King X hands there and other really strong hands, like even pocket kings sometimes. I'm going to call here against the small bet. It might be a queen or a 10 though, but he made it so small that I just thought I want to call. Now he is overbetting this, and at this point all I beat is a misdraw. But what would he overbet quite like this? It can be 2 pair, but I still think the way he played it, I think I want to look him up, call the overbet, and he did have 2 pair. Okay. The thing is, in the big blind, he has such a wide range there that he can have all sorts of hands. He doesn't even have to have a flush draw. But yeah, the small bet on the turn followed by the big bet on the river should have been a clue maybe, but that's okay. We paid him off there. Yeah, I've had a few sessions of late where I've just not been running great, and this is definitely starting to look a bit like those. So we got $23,000 in the bad beat jackpot, and we have Ace King offsuit. I'll raise it up, of course. And then we have 10-3 offsuit in the big blind, this other table. Okay, we get called on the button with our Ace King, and that really isn't the kind of flop you want to see when you open from early position and you get called on the button. And he bets half pot. I mean, this is already quite marginal, but I am going to call once. The jack doesn't help us much. He bets half pot again, which is weird, but I think at this point I'm just going out. Like, half pot bets are typically not that strong, but if you put in 2 of those and all I have is ace high, I need to get out. King 6, we're gonna open this in the small blind. We have some antes and players don't 4-bet enough, so well, now that I say it, we're getting 4-bet. And well, I'm gonna fold this because it is bottom of my range. It is very bottom of my range. So it's okay to fold that to a 3-bet. But they're quite aggressive, the game so far today. I mean, I've only been playing for like 15 minutes, but still, they are quite aggressive. Okay, pocket deuces, gonna call the early position raise in the big blind. No set. And if no set, no bet, I guess. If you see bets, I shall fold. See, it's very small. This is almost annoying how small this is. Like, what's that, quarter pot? It's quarter pot, but even then I don't have the diamonds. I'm just gonna fold. It's just not that kind of hand that can really improve much. Also because I don't have the deuce of diamonds. Even if I improve to a set, it might be that he has a flush draw then and then has a flush. Calling ace 3 suited in this multi-way pot, well, 3-way pot. And we got a donk by the small blind, interesting. Pretty big donk as well, so just folding with my ace high and a couple of backdoors. Okay, this aggressive player in the cutoff now raises the donk. And by the donk, I don't mean that the person is a donk, I mean the action of donking. Pocket 4, force, I'm going to fold. I mean, I would have folded even if he hadn't opened. Oh, look at this now. He just jammed over this and he got the fold. Okay, with pocket 7s on the button, I'm just going to 3-bet them. Probably gonna get 4-bet if he's tanking so long. Nope, he folded. Happy with that move. Now we got pocket 9s. Got lots of pocket pairs, just not the really nice ones. And now we are getting 3-bet. And with pocket 9s, you could go either way. I am going to 4-bet them. If we get jammed on, that's probably a fold. But we don't. We just take it down. Queen 8 off. Ace 9 off, cut off, just very, very, very marginal open. I'm going to fold it. Yeah, so welcome to the stream. If you're new, and apologies for the wrong title and thumbnail. I didn't mean to say that I'm playing the Crypto Series of Poker today. I played that on Sunday, and for some reason my software didn't change that out, although I actually wanted to say that it's a 25 NL cash stream because that's what I'm playing, 25 NL cash games on Coin Poker. Shall I add another table? Maybe I will do that. I think that would be fun. There's one here that I can add. So now we have 4 tables running. And it's our turn somewhere here. Okay, we can just check with this limper with our ace high. Continue checking with a gut shot. Is there merit in calling this half pot bet? I don't think I can actually make a lot of money if a king comes, so I'm just gonna fold. Ace 9 suited, yeah, we can raise this. Ace 8 offsuit, we're gonna fold it. Okay, so here we can start with a small bet on king, queen, jack. If he has a hand like pocket eights or fives or so, he can just fold. And yes, he has a few hands that connect well there, but we have an overcard, we have a few back doors. So if he calls, there are still ways of winning it. But he folded anyway, so that was nice. Pocket tens on the button. We'll see what this guy does. He's quite aggressive. If he 3-bets, I might just jam my pocket tens. Especially if he's taking so long. Oh, he does call, which is interesting. That is an interesting one. I am just going to squeeze with my tens. And I get folds all around. Excellent. Now with the ace queen off, this is interesting. I'm going to... So there are some dynamics with this guy. But he folds again. That's good. I'm getting him to fold. This is the guy who stacked me earlier, I was saying. When... Oh, I have aces. When I try to bluff him off a set. Okay, so he has now really been... This is the 3rd time in a row that I'm 3-betting him, and this time I have aces. So let's hope that he will just rip it in, or at least 4-bet, or at the very least call. Calling he does. And I'm gonna c-bet this. Okay, there is a raise. We have pocket eights. This is one of the times where we can just call on the button. Right, so now we can just continue barreling on the king. He can of course have a set, he can have king queen, but still. Here I'm going to stab, and I am going to shove because I still think he might not believe me. He might call. Oh, but what did he have? He had king queen, exactly. I am just running so bad against this player. That's crazy. Okay, but fair enough. He did get me there. I don't even know if he sees that I have aces. He might just muck my hand. Actually, no, because I have to show. No, because I bet. Yeah, so he did see it. Okay, and let's just raise him again. Here we are going to bet on the bigger side. This is a good flop for us. On table 1, top left. Getting raised. Okay. So for value, 6s and a better 8 probably, or any 8, but it's fine. We can call. That's not good, because 7-9 gets there now. Here we can just start barreling with our 10s, and now he folded, okay. So he seems to be quite fit or fold. He was just running great against me. Okay, definitely gonna call here and can't really do anything else. Folding ace 10 off to a raise. And okay, queen deuce to a min raise there. This is just such... I'm still gonna fold. So let's see what he does. He checks. Okay, when he checks, I don't think he has an 8. The question is, would we ever get called by something weaker? And I just don't think so. I think this will just be check back. Yeah, so he had king 9 off. And that's why I was thinking, when he checks that river, I can't really get any value out of him, because he just wouldn't have bet there with anything that I beat, really. Like, he doesn't have any overpairs to the 8s, and with a 10, yes, maybe 10-9 or so, that he continues betting on the turn and then checks back. So maybe that's the one hand that might call, but even that one might just fold the river if I bet. And I think everything else folds, unless he's trapping, of course, and then I just put in more money than necessary. But yeah, that hand with aces against king queen and the 3-bet pot, and the flop comes queen high, and then the turn is a king. And yeah, maybe you could argue that I shouldn't jam the river, but because of the dynamics that we had, I kept 3-betting and pummeling that guy, that I was quite confident that he would call there with even just a queen. So that was the reason why I bet. And yeah, sadly, that did not work out very well for me. Okay, there was a limp on the button, table 3, bottom left, and then small blind raised, so I can just fold my 7-4. Yeah, now this player already stacked me twice, the guy called ALYP, I don't know how to pronounce it, but yeah, I've been running very bad against him. But let's hope that things will improve. We're still here for a while. So yeah, if you've come here to watch me play the crypto series of poker, that's not running yet. It's gonna run later today, although some satellites will be running soon, I believe. But I will play some more tournaments, I think. I don't know when yet, probably next week or so. So then I'll have another session of these, but for now, let's stick to cash games today. 25 NL, 4 of them. and trying to make some money back because we have not been running great, neither today nor over the past couple of weeks. But we can't expect to just keep crushing all the time, so that is okay. So there was an early position raise, a 3-bet, we have ace 10 off, so we can easily fold this one. Pocket sixes, just gonna raise it. This is basically the hijack, getting 3-bet. Sorry. So we have queen 10 off on the button. Which we are going to raise. And we're getting 3-bet once again. We just keep getting 3-bet. I am going to four-bet this one. We're getting snap called. That's interesting. We're going to start with a small bet. Getting called. Fortunately, not a great turn. Think. Okay, now on the ace we can go quite big, and here I'm going to start betting, and we get jammed on. Okay, right, another one that didn't go very well. Okay. Okay, we've got ace-9 suited. I'm just gonna 3-bet this guy once again. I keep 3-betting him, I know. Yes, so the reason why I bet quite big on the ace there was because I felt like the guy, because he snap called my 4-bet pre-flop, that he wouldn't have a hand like ace king, ace queen, but my read was probably wrong. So I thought if he has some middling pocket pair that he just quickly calls there, then he would be in a tough spot once the ace comes. But unfortunately, he then just check jammed. Queen jack off. Now I'm just gonna fold this. This would be a hand that I would sometimes 3-bet button versus cutoff, but I've just 3-bet this guy so much that I want to be a little more selective now with my bluffs. Okay, but we can recover from this. Nothing's lost, so that's all fine. Oops. Jack 4 off in the big blind. Easy fold. Okay, 7-6 off. Problem is, because I had these technical problems earlier, I think I've now run out of time bank everywhere. I don't know if I get some extra seconds for playing a while, but I have to be careful not to blind and to time out. 'Cause I've had that once before when I started playing, and I remember I folded pocket aces because I was distracted at another table, and then after 5 seconds or so, they just mucked my hand. Okay, pocket fives, we can call this one. And another flop that we are not super happy with. He checks behind, which is not bad. So there's hope. And now, can we ever get called by worse? No. Can we bluff anything? Well, maybe 6s, 7s, 8s, 9s, 10s, but probably maybe not even. So yeah, the queen. Yeah, I just like at showdown I have not been able to win a single hand against this player, and I always seem to be involved against him. Okay, Jack 7 suited on in the big blind. On the table on the bottom right. And we can call against a hijack raise, even though it's slightly against hijack is probably a bit too loose actually. Okay, we now have a gut shot to go with our third pair. just no reason to bet third pair. Don't really think I can get called by much worse, and we don't need a lot of protection. Yes, there are some overcards that can come, but there's only one card to come as well. So I am going to call this one. And we'll give him the chance to bet. So over betting this one, so it's a similar pattern to earlier. Check on the flop, then a rather small bet on the turn, and then a big one on the river. What does he have for value? I don't think he has a deuce. Like, he is really saying... I mean, he could be doing this with aces, kings, queens. I'm just gonna call and probably look pretty stupid when I do this, but I don't know if he would bet so big with aces, kings, queens, or any other overpair. So I think I'm just gonna flick in the call and see what he shows. And he did do it with ace 10. Wow. Okay. Did do it with ace 10 there. I am really bleeding chips today. So we've got 10-9 off in the small blind on 2 tables at the same time and folds to us both times. Here we're getting 3-bet, and I'm just doing what I tend to always do. Just 4-betting small blind versus big blind, because the big blind will not defend correctly. But in this case, he jams, so another one. Yeah, so this is a good lesson in how to lose a lot of chips in a short period of time. And yes, I have been running very bad, but also, yeah, I don't know, some decisions might have been questionable. But the thing is, both times when I called over bets on the river, they were really wrapping such a small range that I was confident that there would be a lot of bluffs in there, but maybe I'm just giving these players too much credit. Maybe I just need to play more fit or fold against them. I'm gonna raise 10-9 suited. C-bet king 9-4. Taking it down. And here I don't think I can get an ace ever to fold, even a king not, so I'm just gonna check. Now we lose to queen jack and to better 2-pair, but we do have decent 2-pair. So let's see what he does. If he bets small, we can raise. If he bets big, we can call. If he checks, then we'll bet. 4-3 suited, I'm gonna defend. He bets small. So now I can raise. And with 3-4 suited and not more than backdoors and just 2 undercards, I elect to fold. He calls. Okay, now we lose to a queen. That is very unfortunate. And he bets really small, so that's 10%. The problem is, if I raise here, can I ever get him to call with just an ace? Like if I call here, I think I have the best hand most of the time. So I'm just gonna call before I run out of time. It did have ace jack. Oh my goodness. Speaking of running bad, this is just insane. That's just crazy. Just like even here, he got 3 outs on the river and he just gets there. And yes, it's not a big pot, but still, we check raised, got value in there, everything great, and then, then the river is the second pair. So, yeah, that's where we are these days. And another one of those where I open to big cards, get called by the button, and to middling to low cards come there. He bets again. Do I want to raise this time? I think I do. I also have the backdoor flush draw. And he showed me that pattern before where he bet the flop and the turn, so good. We now managed to get some money back from him. Ace 4 off in the big blind. Have to fold. There's an all in with queens versus jacks. And jacks win the second board. Queen deuce suited against 2.4x raise is a fold. I'm going to open 5-6 suited from under the gun. This is my one suited connector that I like opening. And getting 3 bets straight away once again by this player. Was quite aggressive, making it quite big as well. But because there is a cold call now, I do have some implied odds. So I am going to call, even though it's not the best hand for multi-way action. Also, it's definitely not the best flop possible. And once there is the small bet there, I have to get out with just backdoors and undercards. Ace king and king jack. Though with king jack we're probably not going to do much because there's already a raise, so I'm just going to fold this one. Getting called by the button once again. Queen 9 suited, we can raise this. Okay, now the flop that we're not super happy with. Okay, checks round, that's not bad. Okay, got another checks. That's good too. We're checking, and hopefully the button checks as well. By the way, we got the queen 9 suited bluff 3-bet through on the top right. Okay, so there is a bet and a call. So I am out with my ace king. And of course the river is a king. That would probably give me the best hand, I would guess, but I think it was still right to fold. Also, he could have a queen or better by after betting so big on the river. Right, but we have pocket kings on this other table, so maybe we can win a big pot for a change. Another call, so we are going to go big. With our pocket kings, this is a squeeze. First player folds. So let's see if you want some more money from us after stacking us twice already. But no, this time he just folds. So I actually don't think he's a great player from what I have seen. He's quite fit or fold. He just happened to get there whenever I try to bluff him. Or not even bluff, but as I said, I 3-bet him big with aces. He had king queen, and the flop comes queen high, and then the turn is a king, and he stacks me again. We have pocket kings once again. Won't complain about that, but I will complain if everyone folds. Well, looks like it could happen. Only the big blind left. Come on, he's... Nah. I will complain now, don't I? I have to do it after I just said it. No, that's fine. That's how poker works, but that's how frustrating poker is. He's check suited in the small blind. This I know from last time, I think is a good player, so I'm just going to call, and it's fine to call from the small blind. Solvers do that as well, and it is sometimes absolutely fine to call there. He now overbets this. Well, this is interesting. Well, because I think he is a really good player, he is probably not doing this with a really weak hand. But am I? The system just folded for me. Okay, good, fine. That might have been a cue. I was just thinking of potentially. Oh no, I'm missing the button because I. Oh, what? That is unfair. Come on, guys. I missed the button because I timed out in the previous hand. Not quite fair, is it? So yeah, because I know that he's a good player, I know he will probably not be super strong when he overbets there on queen 10-3 or whatever it was, because he knows that that's a board that he can c-bet big. He might have had a similar hand to mine. Now considered raising, because I think once a player gets raised after overbetting, usually that means that someone is very strong who does that. So then I thought, well, maybe he will just fold. But then the system just folded for me. Jack 10 off in the hijack. Slightly too early for me to open. Yeah, so I have this good player on all 4 tables now, which is not ideal. But at least he is on my right on a couple of them. Why am I... Oh, this is crazy here. Why am I not playing at all? I said I'm ready. This is weird. Anyway, he now raised again, so let's just call again with King Queen this time. Again, the flop not to our liking. This delayed c-bet just can't do much when I completely whiff the flop. Yeah, well, we're just going through one of those stretches where just nothing really works. I could barely flop something good. I think except for one time where I flopped trips, I haven't flopped anything good. Not even a flush draw. But that's okay. That's how the game goes sometimes, and I've only been playing for around an hour. So that's all fine. So yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, I can also be followed on Twitch. I've only really started a Twitch channel. I don't have a lot of a following there, but if you want to make a start, it's free. Just do it there. Yeah, of course, now I'm getting 3-bet when I have Queen 9 off rather than earlier when I had aces, and I think I had Queen 9 off before, Queen 10 I think it was, and I also got 3-bet. Okay, so same thing again here, King Jack suited. I'm just gonna call once again and probably whiff the flop once again, of course. That's just how how it goes. He now c-bets big. Okay, I am going to call now with 2 overs and a yeah, we'll have a backdoor flush draw. I am going to donk this card now. And he calls. And the thing is, I am going to bet just over half pot, trying to get him to fold ace highs. But he calls with a 9. Okay. Right, so this time we even had him pre-flop 70-30 or 75-25 even with King Jack versus King 9, and then of course he hits his 9. It's just one of those days. Okay, now we have had enough. I am going to 3-bet with ace queen off. Yeah, I'm just bleeding chips everywhere. It's just really one of those tough, rough sessions. At least it has been so far. I really hope that we can turn it around. I have had plenty of sessions that went the other way around, where I started really well and then everything broke apart later. So I just hope today we can have the opposite to that. Well, pocket aces would be a good start. And we are going to 3-bet this guy once again. And once again, he will probably somehow draw out on me. Oh, we got a cold caller there. Come on, I hope someone 4-bets. Come on, you're the under the gun razor. Just go for it. Fortunately not, and this is also not great, but he shouldn't connect very well. I think he most likely to have something like nines, tens, jacks, queens. So I'm going for a check raise, obviously. Let's go to 28. Because I don't think he'll ever fold but any of those. So that's fine. We're getting it in. And yes, pocket tens. Yep, that's... Ooh, an ace and a 10 come here. Oh, wow. And another ace. Okay, thank you. Wow, I hit a both on both boards. Well, that finally, this was a good one. So yeah, this is how it's best to play it when you can narrow down the range so much. And it was pretty obvious that he had, not pretty obvious, but it's pretty likely that he has a hand like nines through queens there. And if you have aces or kings, then just don't slow play. Start with a check, but then once they bet, raise them, and you'll see, like in this case, he just jammed over my check raise with pocket tens. So that is an easy game then. Easy game when you have aces on such a board. So that was the first time that something really went my way. So let's see if we can make this more of a theme. That's why you also should never cold call with a hand like pocket tens in a 3-bet pot. Actually, you should not really cold call with anything. I will do it sometimes. I have done that when I really don't expect anyone to 4-bet and I have a hand that's not top of my range, but where I can hit a set or have an otherwise good hand. So sometimes I will do that, but it has to be the right kind of table. Basically, also a table where players don't realize that I don't have the top of my range there. So in online poker, that's basically never the case. Okay, can call pocket deuces. It's not a super profitable call. Jack 8 suited, I can also call. Oh, this is a good flop for my hand. And here I'm not gonna fold because it's unlikely that he will hit. Okay, so now I am just gonna go for the overbet. Fortunately he calls. Man, the ace really isn't great. Oh no, look at what I did now. Because I was just so... I cold called the 3-bet. Well, it just said I wouldn't do it and I didn't realize it. And... this is annoying. This is all very annoying. And here he overbets now. Okay, I'm just gonna fold. Well, this was just a waste of 9 big blinds because I did not realize I was just distracted and I didn't see that there was a 3-bet. I thought I was calling the early position raise. Instead, I cold called the 3-bet with ace jack off. So we are gonna start with a small range bet in this 3-bet pot. Of course we get called and of course we don't improve. And because we don't improve, I will just check now. And when he bets, I will just fold. This is what usually happens. Unless he folds pre-flop, I just can't win a pot against this guy. That's okay. First hour is done. At least we did win 2 stacks. And we have pocket jacks now. Oh, and this guy has left, okay. I think he might have had enough of me. Although he's still there on the other tables. Okay, we're getting 3-bet by this guy. I think that's the one who had the pocket 10s earlier. So I think I'm just going to jam against him because he's only starting the hand with 80 big blinds. And yes, if he has aces, kings, queens, he will obviously snap me off, but I think he is wider than that. And he might even talk himself into calling with 10s or 9s. Although earlier, oh yeah, he could cold call the 3-bet, so yeah, that's fine, we just take it down. Because I think if he has 10s, 9s, 8s, he might think that I'm doing this with ace king, so he might call that. And if he has a hand like ace jack, or ace queen even, he might fold that, which would be great, especially ace queen, because that's like a 45% dog against me with my jacks. So I'm happy with that outcome. Yes, if you have any questions about my game, about me, or if you would like to know anything else, or about coin poker, or the crypto series of poker, then please do ask in the comments. I am here to answer your questions. Okay, we have ace queen, and we get 3-bet by this guy. The button, this is our friend who always runs really good against us. And this is annoying because now I would normally like to 4-bet this, but the problem is against this guy. I think he has a fairly strong range, so I will just fold. I don't want to call ace queen off, and as you can see, I would have whiffed anyway. King 9 off, raise on the button. We're getting 3-bet again, so this is the player who cold called the 3-bet there. Now he's 3-betting us. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Normally against a reg I would consider 4-betting, but against this guy I don't think I want to do that. So he had ace king and the other guy had 10, so yeah, that's kind of what I expected. As you see, my hand like ace king and 10s, that's exactly textbook 3-bet and cold calling a 3-bet. Okay, now he raised again. We have pocket 7s. I'm just gonna call now. That's awful flop for pocket 7s. And with pocket 10s, I'm also just gonna call. That's a bit of a better flop from 10s, although only marginally. And good news that he keeps checking. And I don't think I can get any value. He had ace 4, okay. And now he bets on this one. This is the same player. So I'm still gonna call because I have a gut shot. And he might be bluffing, although I don't think he seems to be quite honest. And when he bets again, obviously we'll fold. And obviously we'll just lose against him like we do in pretty much every pot. Not quite, I mean, I know I just won the 7s against ace 4, but it was a tiny one and we just checked it through. And I did win a few pre-flop, but except for the 7 against his ace 4, I think he was ahead on every single board by the river. But what can you do? We're just continuing. And raising ace 5 off, folding king deuce suited. I'm getting 3-bet once again, and now I am going to 4-bet this one. We're getting 3-bet here too. So why not just 4-bet this one as well? Okay, king jack deuce is quite decent for our range. Okay, problem is now he could have 10s, he could have jacks, he could have ace king, king queen, king jack. He can have quite a few of those. So I'm just gonna check. And we did win this one in the end because we got lucky with the ace on the river. Okay, now that he checks, I am going to jam this one. And of course I get called because king queen, of course. I just get called in all spots today, and I was hoping that he doesn't have a king because I think queen jack he would fold. I think any ace high he would fold. So yeah, another one. I think it's the 4th time or so that I lost my stack today. And that's because I've been trying to bluff a lot and hardly any bluff has gone through today. king 6. I'm just gonna open it and we get a fold. Pocket 5s under the gun is a fold for me these days. No reason to open. I'm gonna open 9-8 off against recreational players. And we flop second pair. I am going to c-bet this. If he has a hand like king queen or even an ace or so, if I get him to fold that, that is okay. Getting raised. We do not like this, but we are still going to call. And we call because we now have a straight. We don't have the best straight, so if he has queen jack, then that's not great. So let's see what he does. He bets about half pot, so I am just going to call this. And because it checks, I'm going to go for half pot myself. If he has a set, well, he is kind of min-clicking us, but at this point I don't think we'll ever win it, but I think we're very often chopping, so that's okay. No, actually he did have 2 pair. Wow, I didn't think we would ever win this one, but you see, sometimes players just do really crazy stuff. It's just insane that he would do that, but I'm very happy about that. So he won even more. Queen 8 off, definitely a fold. Ace king coming. So going to 3-bet. Or shall we just call? I think we'll just call this one. I was hoping that someone would squeeze. And just gonna put in a sneaky check. If he has ace X, we'll still get some money out of him. But unfortunately, he just folds. A7 suited, don't like 3-betting that one, don't like calling in the small blind either. So I have to fold. King 10, I'll fold this one. Well, no, there was a limp there, fine. We have pocket kings once again. And we have this guy who calls. Let's hope the small blind raises. There's a hope. Does not happen. Okay, well then let's raise to 4.8 because he's quite short. He's got 36.6 big blinds behind. It does call, and this is a pretty sweet flop for us. Start with a check. He does like to bet when checked to, but not now. Okay, now I am going to start betting. The ace is not great unless he has an ace. So that's why I'm gonna go quite big, and then I can shove the river. But unfortunately, no action whatsoever post-flop. It's probably also a bit scared of me. With ace queen off, no action either. We have ace jack suited. In the small blind. Let's open this one. No action either. A7 off, have to fold this one again. Small blind versus a button raise. Queen 10 suited, such a nice looking hand. Usually quite useless though. We are going to raise it up though. Getting 3-bet by the button. Just gonna fold this now. As I said, this hand is just not great. I can, yeah, let's fold. Yeah, so once again, if you're watching and you expected me to play the crypto series of poker, I did play that on Sunday. Today I'm playing 25NL cash games, but my software somehow didn't update that and it's advertising it as the CSOP, which I apologize for. I will have to look into it, but I can't change it while I'm playing. So that's why, unfortunately, there isn't much I can do now, but bear with me to watch me play 25NL. Opened ace king off under the gun. And probably, well, we are getting some action. I am starting with a check in this case. And here I have to fold this to a 3-bet. I can check again. This is the best non-pair hand. So just going to check it down and win against ace queen. Wow, he had a big hand there. Shame not more money went in pre-flop. That's why he checked it down as well, because he thought it would be pretty good. He had the second best hand. I had the nut no pair, and he had the second nut no pair. Six, eight off is kind of marginal, but yeah, I'm gonna fold it. It's just so marginal, I don't even want to try. Ooh, we have ace king again. We get called by the next player to act. And for a change, this is not a bad flop from me. Still starting with a check. And now we have the nuts. And of course, when you have the nuts on a 4 straight board, it's hard for your opponent to call with anything. Ace 9 suited. And now the game seems to have become a little nittier. Earlier I got called all the time. Now I see a lot more folding. Pocket fives here, jack six suited. I'm gonna open this. Pocket fives, I'm just gonna fold against this good player. I'm getting 3-bet again. Okay, folding jack six then. King jack, queen 10, 10 10, pocket deuces. Oh, we are getting spoiled. Pocket deuces I'm gonna fold though. And here king jack I'm also going to fold because this guy is not super loose and he opens from early position, so it's a fold. Unfortunately everyone folded where I had pocket tens. I'm getting 3-bet again by this player, which is very annoying now, but I'm queen 10 off, I'm just gonna fold once again, especially now because this guy called 4-bet. Okay, we have ace king off, and our friend, who we are quite deep with, raises it up. The cutoff. So going to 3-bet. Also, I'm just gonna call with pocket jacks, allowing these two players to squeeze. But didn't happen. Okay, here I am just going to start. Okay, I can go with a small both call. The king of diamonds is not ideal. I'm just gonna check behind and see what they do on the river. Right, this guy now bets pretty big, which I do not love. And here I'm just gonna call with ace king. With my jacks, I think I just have to fold. It's very annoying, but with this run out, ooh, and this guy raised all in. Interesting. And this guy now also overbets, so we're just losing left and right. So yeah, with my pocket jacks, maybe I didn't play them very well, but you don't always get such a run out. And I was hoping that the guy in the big blind especially, but also the small blind, that they would squeeze, but neither of them did that. So I didn't do very well there once again. And here opened 8-4, ace-4, getting 3-bet. Here we're gonna 3-bet ourselves. This guy made it 8x, so I'm just gonna fold to 8x. And we have pocket kings again. King 5 suited, gonna call. And we are going to... Okay. I'm going to almost 2x this one, and we get a fold. Excellent. Get a call, and of course we get the ace there, so I'm just going to check this one. No reason to bet it with an ace there and clubs, so just gonna check it down probably. And yeah, there's not much I can get value from on this board, unfortunately. There's just another very unfortunate one. And wow, he had Jack 4 of diamonds. So you raised Jack 4 of diamonds under the gun and then called a 3-bet with Jack 4 of diamonds out of position. Wow. Well, we have Jack 4 suited. Oh, we're gonna fold it, of course. Ace 9 off, we can raise. Okay, so this is a board that I play big bet or check usually. And so with this hand, I just want to check. Going to 3-bet 7-6 suited. Gonna check this one again and go for a fairly big bet on the river. Or call, or potentially raise. He bets pretty big, so easy call. And yet pocket deuces. Okay. Yeah, ace 9 just wasn't that amazing on that board, and I don't think I would have made more money if I had bet earlier, so I'm very happy with how it played out. Getting 3-bet again. And I'm going to 4-bet again. Although my 4-bets haven't worked very well today. But the thing is, because the small blind, yeah, again, just shoved on me. So normally, the reason why 4-betting is quite good is because hardly anyone 5-bets for as a bluff, and so that's why it's easy to play it. But today, I've just had one of those days where almost every time I 4-bet, I got shoved on. Except when I had a big hand, although I think I didn't even get to 4-bet with a really big hand. So, yeah, very unfortunate how I've been doing in big pots today. But enough with the complaining. We have ace-queen suited, which I will call with if the small blind folds or calls. Which he does, so I have an easy call, and we flop second pair. Not too bad. He bet small, nothing else to do for me than to call. The deuce of clubs shouldn't change anything. And when he checks back, I'm going to bet this river small, hoping that he has maybe queen jack, queen 10, maybe calling with black pocket 7s or so. He does raise now when I bet small there, which is interesting. So for value, he would have to have slow played something like a good king or better, which I don't think really happened. So I'm just going to call this one and probably be shown a king. Yep, ace king, of course. Of course, they did just always have it today. And it's just so frustrating because I'm just running so bad. But yeah, I just need to stop giving them so much credit. But I just didn't think that he would check back ace-king on that turn. But there are players who are just afraid of going for value, so they prefer to check back and then bet the river. But we have aces. Let's see if this hand can bail us out. And this is another weird one where we have two players posting the big blind and I'm the small blind, but I'm in the big blind position. So I'm just gonna go to 6x here. But yeah, no action at all with my aces. Once again, queen 10 off. I'm just gonna go for a very thin 3-bet. Okay, this is a good flop for my exact hand. Start with a range bet and take it down. Okay, I would have check raised. Now I don't think really I need to. Although I will do this now. I will go and go quite big. Because I do have all sorts of equity, all sorts of outs, and it worked anyway with a check raise. King jack off in the cutoff. Ace queen off. Low jack. Decent hands. Not taking it now. A small blind called. We can just go for a small c-bet with our nut no pair. And another king. This guy now overbets, saying that he has a king. Just gonna fold this. Would we beat bluff? Yes. Just gonna fold this. Could have a bluff, but I've paid off so many players today. I decided not to do the same in this instance. And table 1, I'm going to call 7-6 off because he only made 2.5x. We have a gut shot. If he bets, we'll just start raising. If he checks, we'll bet. We shall bet small. If he check raises us, we might even 3-bet. He calls, okay. So we can now continue betting small. And now I'm going to, well, he just donked, okay. Well, now that he donked, I can't do much. He donked quite big as well. I'm not going to raise him. If he had donked small, I would have considered raising, but if he donks big, he can have it. He's queen suited in the big blind. Then just everyone folds, excellent. If you're watching this and enjoying it, please hit that like button. That will definitely help me. Because that helps inform the algorithm that people actually enjoyed watching this, so they'll show it to more people, because at the moment they're just not suggesting it to many people. Okay, on this board I will start with a check because I don't normally like to do anything else on such low cards, and then the ace is just absolutely terrible card for me, so I'm probably just getting outdrawn once again by this player. Would not surprise me at all. But he does check, so I am going to bet this one. Maybe he has a pocket pair, but no, he's just very honest, so that is quite good. Shame that I got stacked twice by him before I figured that out. Pocket 8 in the big blind. Pocket 4's early position was a fold for me. And we just get folds with our pocket 8. And now I have pocket 6s in the big blind. He calls, just gonna raise it, and we have pocket aces on the button. So we can go for a small bet with our 6s. And that's great, because we get to cold 4-bet here. And he bets pretty big. So I'm just gonna fold. Let's see what happens here. We 4-bet, cold 4-bet with aces. Fortunately, the original raiser folds, but there's still a chance that this other player joins. Yeah, he does call. That's good. Hopefully he doesn't have pocket queens. We are definitely going to c-bet this one. And here we have pocket kings. This is also pretty nice. So just gonna 3-bet. We are going to, well, definitely calling here against queens. That's nice too. Unfortunately, with aces we get folds, but we seem to win both boards on kings versus queens. Yes. Well, finally, looking a little bit more positive now. Little bit more positive now. Still far from being in positive territory, but looking much better. Well, let's see. Now we have queens. And we're getting 3-bet. And the problem is that he is quite short stacked, so I'm just gonna fold my sevens. Had he had a full stack, I would have considered calling or even 4-betting. Can't do that when he has 68 behind. 68 big blinds, that is. Okay, raise queen 10 suited, got called in 2 places, got this flop that's neither here nor there. Tiny bet on the button, but what can I do? I'm out of position with... And I guess I can check raise. Okay, let's do this. Let's just check raise. We do have 2 cards that wrap around the top card. We have a backdoor flush draw. And we get him to fold, yes. Also because he just bet quarter pot there. Just didn't seem like a strong hand. I almost folded that one because I think there's not a big difference in EV between check raising and just check folding in that spot. But finally, things are starting to brighten up for us. Pocket sixes, gonna call even though this guy is short stacked. I'll just play another pot against him with pocket sixes. But yeah, here we flop middle set on a very wet board, and unfortunately he just checks back. I'm gonna start with over betting this one, but to be honest, I don't expect to get a lot of action. I'll probably just fold. No, he does call. That's good. Do I want to jam this? Jamming means 38 big blind, 2x pot. Yeah, I think I do. And he snaps me off. Ooh, he also had a set. Look at this. This is insane. Set over set. Well, we had just such small... It's just such a small stack, but wow, he slow played that to death there. That's crazy. And then he snap called my 2x over bet jam. But yeah, well, he had a set. Okay, and here this is not great. Again, we're getting raised to 8 from early position. I am just gonna fold it again. If he had made it 6, 6.5, 7, I would have called. But if he makes it 8, I think it's just best to fold a hand like 5, 6 suited. Pocket kings again on table 1. Ace queen off. just made a mistake actually. I opened to 2.5 with kings and 2.25 here. But we do get raised again. I do like this so far. Let's just 4-bet this. And we get a snap fold. But that's okay. Ace king now. And we can overbet this. Top pair, top kicker on this board. And we still get raised. Look at this. This is incredible. I mean, what's he saying that he has? Pocket sevens, king 10, king 7. I am still gonna call this, but it's very, very tricky. He checks, which is nice. So we are just going to check behind. Brick River. And when he checks, I don't think we can get any value. He did not check raise me that big with king queen or king jack, I would believe. He either has two pair that he's now kind of slow playing, or yeah, that he had. Oh, he had a 10. He did have a 10 there, and a flush draw. Here we have the second nut flush draw. Not nut flush draw. We have the second nut flush. Although queen 10 and 10-7 of diamonds are royal, not royal, straight flushes. Okay, he did not go for a bet, so I am gonna go for an overbet. And unfortunately, he just folds. I was hoping that he was just pot controlling it. So we open king jack suited from under the gun, and now we're getting 3-bet by the big blind. This is normally a bit underbluffed. Just gonna fold it. Opening 10-9 suited in the cutoff, even though it's probably not super profitable. And of course we're getting 3-bet again, and getting 3-bet so big on the button, by the button, that we can fold. Just a shame it never happens that someone 3-bets us so big when we have aces or kings or queens. It's only when we have a marginal hand. Ace 3 suited in the big blind. Could raise, could call. I'm gonna raise this one. Now we have pocket kings again. Let's 3-bet them. No action, or no further action, I should say. Oh, look at this flop. What I would not call there in the small blind. Had I been in the big blind, I would now have top 2 pair. So we can call with our pocket 3s. It's quite big once again, but yeah, it's another one of those. Or I'm just gonna fold in here. I call the big. Just gonna check behind. Sorry. Okay, so this is a straight. And now I am going to overbet this. And expect him to have some showdown value hand, but unfortunately he didn't fall for it. Five, 6 suited. Okay, this is one that I will just see a bit big, even though I have missed it completely. But we get a fold and we take it down with 6 high, which is excellent. Ace 7 suited, king, queen off on 2 tables, but I have to fold them on table 3. Not them, it. nines and pocket sixes. Okay, I get called by two players with their pocket nines. I'm just going to start by checking. Second ace is potentially good news. Just continue checking. I don't think I can achieve much by betting. Yes, I might fold out hands like king jack, king 10 or so, but still. Here on the right, I'm starting to bet my pocket sixes. I am gonna call once with my pocket nines because he can still have flush draws, he can have weaker pairs, but yeah, he did have pocket pair, but that's what I was gonna say. He can have other pocket pairs, but of course that is not the ideal one. Right here, I am going to call with my pocket sixes because we turn a set, and now I am going to go with a raise because he just made it so small. He should just not, like, there's not a thing to make it so small when you check raise the flop and then there are two draws there. Unfortunately, he just folded now. Okay. Means that he probably didn't have a whole lot. Okay, that's a decent flop for me. I can definitely start with a small bet. Now, I think we can continue betting on the small side, but he just folds. Okay. So I think there is a limp. We're just gonna raise this one up to 7 big blinds with our pocket jacks. And he folds. It's okay. Oh, we have pocket aces again. And there is a raise, which we definitely like. So 3 betting and come on, put in the 4 bet. No, just a fold. Not good. Pocket threes, I'm gonna fold. Okay, we raise 10-9 off on ace 5-3. I'm gonna check quite a lot, so just checking this back. Going for the overbet now. And he folds. king 6 off. Bottom of my opening range there. Small blind versus big blind. Get called. We flop. Top pair. Just gonna start out with a bet. And he folds. I'm just checking my notes on this player because I've played with him before. So 3-bet cutoff for hijack with ace-2 suited. Okay. 3-bet to 9 big blinds with bluff. Okay. Good to know. As we got into our left. So we might face a few 3-bets from him. Jack 8 off against the raise, I think is marginal. Just folding is fine. Ace queen off in the big blind, pocket 3s in the small blind. Okay, with ace queen we can raise this. Pocket 3s, it's tempting to just call, but I'm gonna fold. There's still a chance that this big blind squeezes. Okay, so this is really not a great flop for my hand, and not particularly good for my range either. Okay, now we have an open ender, but he has a lot of hands that somehow connect to this as well, so just gonna play it passively. He now bets about half pot with 2 overs and the gut shot. Definitely have to call though. And this is now interesting. Do I want to turn this into a bluff? Can I get him to fold? I think I can get him to fold a non-club if I jam. But he snaps me off with the nuts. Okay, yeah, well, if you have the nuts, you might as well snap call there. That is fine. But, yep, this just got stacked with ace queen versus ace jack. Okay, let's raise big with queen jack off against the limper. Isolate him. And just take down the pot. Happy with that too. Yeah, I've run into nutted hands a few times today. Screenshot saved. I don't even know. I never made a screenshot, but okay. none off. I would have folded it anyway in the hijack, even if the low jack hadn't raised. Seven deuce off in the big blind. That's what we want to see. Hey, queen eight off. Now we can just go for a 3-bet. This guy has opened quite a bit in the small blind against us. We folded a bit. So now we are starting with a quarter pot bet on this flop. Get called. Okay, the 5 isn't changing much, but I do not want to continue barreling, so just calling. And let's see what he does now. We barely filtered on the flop anyway, so he probably has quite a wide range. But he shoves. He shoves here. Well, that is interesting. I mean, when he shoves, I think that's what? That's like almost 4x pot. That's like, wow. I think I just have to fold. I'm just folding. Like if he shoves there, if he risks so much money, I will sometimes, very rarely admittedly, but sometimes I will have a big hand there, and then I can call with it. But I'm not going to call with just a weak top pair in a 3-bet pot where he shoves almost 4x. Queen jack off, we can just about call it. Flop second pair. Gonna check raise, not check raise, just raise 3-bet 5-4 suited. He goes 3/4 or so, 2/4, 3/4. I'm just calling. And we got a fold with our 5 high. That is excellent. And he checks, so no. I can go for the check call probably. But he doesn't bet, and that is great because we just win it. Right, not exactly playable hands at the moment. X's. Raising them in the cutoff. Early in the cutoff, I think they're not profitable these days, but cutoff button, small blind, definitely opening them. Okay, getting called. Definitely going to c-bet this one. So if I can get a hand like King Jack to fold, A7 to fold, that would be great, because they have 2 overcards and therefore still 25% equity. If I get check raised, like in this case, that's fine. I have an easy call. He's really repping a 10 or pocket 4s at that point. He continues barreling, that is fine. We can continue calling down. And now with the additional 10, makes it even less likely that he has a 10. And he checks, and at this point I don't think I can get value from anything, so I will just check behind and win against his Queen Jack. That's a nice one. King 10 off. I think this one's quite close. Looks better than it is, this hand. I am gonna call, but it's quite close. And he bets big. Easy fold. Okay, there's a limp, so we can isolate this one, and here we can go for a raise with pocket 10s. No action with the 10s. Oh, and this guy jammed. Okay, he limp jammed. Well, then we have to fold. If he's that serious about business. Okay, we can raise Queen Jack suited on the button against low Jack raise. And he folds. Okay, well, my pocket 4s, I can go either way, but I'm going to 3-bet this guy again. I did it big blind versus small blind earlier. It does call. Okay, here we can start with a small bet. Here, am I going to range bet this? I am. Jack 10 suited, I can fold. I'm gonna just check. Ooh, and this is a bingo card on the turn. So now we can definitely go a bit bigger. I think I'm gonna go something like this. And can we go for another street of value? I'm gonna go with the ace. And we get called by, we don't know, but we take it down, we win it. That is excellent. Unfortunately, when we turned our set of fours, we did not get any action. Starting with a small bet. Get snapped called. Okay, now betting bigger when the scare card comes, and he folds. No action with our ace king. Let's see. Now we have ace 10 off. Queen jack off. Okay, but our ace 10 off. We'll just have to fold it against an under the gun raise. Queen jack off as kind of a mixed open. But if everyone folds, then I'm very happy to open it. Ace king again, this time the suited variant. Buttons tanking. Probably just being distracted though. two callers, and well, we could go either way, but I don't think we can actually really get rid of both of them, so I'll just check behind. They both check to me. Now is a good time to go for the overbet, because we still have a not flush draw and two overcards, and I think they would fold a small pair to that big bet. And yep, we got two folds. Queen 4 suited against 2.3x. I'm just about gonna call, especially with the antes in play. Fold, and here we have. So okay, I'm just gonna start betting small, and he just folds, which is great. I was planning to take out the bazooka on the river, go with a big bet, but no need, because he folded to my tiny bet on the turn. Okay, another limp there. I think this is the guy who limp jammed earlier. Seven deuce off on the button. Well, not gonna do much with king 6 off. Queen 10 off, I can just about call. Gonna fold pocket fours. Pocket tens, we can definitely open. Right here we are going to check raise. Our open ender. Get a call, which is not great. Going to continue barreling, this time with the overbet. And he folded. Ace 10 off, that can be a raise. But we're getting 3 bets right away and pretty big, so just folding. Queen 8 suited to a 3x raise, that is quite a lot, but We are in the big blind, we have a suited hand, but fortunately quite the wrong suit. And just have to fold. And we have pocket aces. Five, six suited, as I said. This is my one suited connector that I like opening. Oh, come on, is everyone folding when I have aces now? Not quite, at least we have one player there. With the pocket nines, okay, I'm just gonna call because I want to play, but I didn't have time to really think about how I want to play the hand. Okay, 5-6 suited, okay, no action there. We got squeezed by that player, fine. Now here we have to check. I am going to call the nines. Definitely going to call here too. He keeps barreling. Well, now this river is just a disaster. He might have just backdoored, or just rivered his ace there. I don't think there's anything I can get now. Yeah, he had ace king, so that's exactly it. Yeah, but I had the right inkling there that he was bluffing on the flop and on the turn, so when I called there, I was miles ahead. But then he just rivered the ace, and then no point in turning my hand into a bluff because he would. There's a good chance that he will call with ace, with the ace there. So yeah, but in terms of decision making, everything was fine. I put money in the pot when I was ahead throughout the hand. I didn't put in a single penny when I was behind. So that's basically all you can hope for. Ace jack, I'll just call against this guy again. Okay, just playing it passively. We have aces again. Okay, can't do much, just have to call there. Okay, pocket aces, we want this. So what happened here now? I missed this. So we won it, okay. Don't know what he had though. Now we have pocket queens. Okay, we can 3-bet queens. Pocket fives against early position. I'm gonna fold. Okay, that's really not great. We are going to go for a small c-bet. I'm getting raised straight away. Okay, well, then I guess my queens are probably not good. Cat to see a flop with queen deuce. Flop bottom pair. Not gonna start with a bet. Now we have two pair on this tricky board. And he just folds, okay. So can write limper. Ace queen. King queen. Okay, so here I am starting with a big bet, and king high boards is kind of the only board where I will bet out of position when I get called. But now that the diamonds came in, this is just really bad. King queen suited. I am going to call this, and he now bets. Gosh, I'm just having to fold left and right. Left and right. Just silly. Ace-10 suited in the big blind, Queen-8 suited on the button, both playable hands. What's that? There's a 3-bet. Yeah, well, in those positions, I'd rather fold. Okay, King-Jack suited on the button. This limper again. We go into isolate. He calls. We flop top pair, which is great. Gonna go bigger than I would normally go, because if he has any piece of this flop, I think he won't fold. But unfortunately, he folded. Anyway, pocket jacks. Get a call. That is a decent flop for my exact hand. With a gut shot and an overpair. Not perfect, but I don't mind getting check raised. So happy to bet. Raising 5-6 suited again. Okay, the 8 pairing. Not that great. Definitely checking back. And when he bets big on this river, he can still have 10x and he can have some bluffs, so definitely going to call. And yes, he did have 10x there. And he bet quite big with 10x. A bit too big for my taste, especially with a weak 10x. Okay, now we got 2 customers with our 5-6 and we have bottom pair, monkey in the middle. Just have to start with a check and see where that takes us. And a bet and a call, so that takes us out of the hand. That's where it's taking us. So I'm slowly winding these down, playing these last couple of hands. Actually, this one's also finished. Now they're all finished. So thank you very much for watching. I think it's been a break-even day overall, slightly losing. Probably, yeah, still about 70, 80 big blinds losing. But yeah, I have recovered from the minus 400 that I was at some point. So thank you very much for watching and hope to see you